Well, congratulations. You made it to the final week. So that's the first thing I want to get out there is congratulations. It's been a very, very quick session. So be proud of yourself. You made it. You made it this far. So on Monday, I'm going to send us some information about the proctoring for the final exam. So the only part that'll need to be proctored is going to be the objective section. So there's going to be an objective section, in which all the questions are going to be pulled from questions you've already seen on the quizzes. So no new questions. So if you've done them right the first time, you will get them right the second time. It's just this time it'll be timed, and so you'll be going through it maybe a little bit quicker. But that's the only part that's going to be proctored. I'll send out more information from Dr. McLaren and the director of School of Professional Studies. So she sent information to me. I'll forward it along to you. I'll do that tomorrow. Tuesday, I will actually send out the essay portion of the exam, so you could be working on that ahead of time. The essay portion, it's not really essays. It's more of your thoughts on some things and doing some comparisons. We're going to have you look at a TED Talk and make a comparison between a TED Talk on happiness and some of the things we're going to be talking about early in this week about ways of salvation and also the human condition. I'll send that out on Tuesday, so you'll have that. You'll have plenty of time to be working on that. So this week, what we're going to be doing is we are going to continue these, looking at these different components of religion, different things that religions have. And so the first thing we're going to be looking at is the different views of what's called the human problem. And so all religions kind of see ourselves or see the human being as being a little bit broken, a little bit disconnected, whether it's a fall from grace or not using reason or not aligning ourselves with nature. That there's something just wrong, this anxiety, this something this angst, this human angst that we have. And so we're going to start out by having you look at a clip from Hamlet. He's quite anxious. And so have you look at a clip from Hamlet, and then we're going to go through these things, looking at Stoicism, Christianity, Buddhism, and Confucianism, and looking at these different ways and how they view the human problem and how they might present solutions to it. Okay, so then we're going to move on to something a little bit darker, suffering and evil. Okay, so it's called theodicy. And what a theodicy is it's an explanation for suffering or evil in the world, despite a belief in a just, loving, giving, fair God. So if God is just, and if God is good, how can there be suffering in the world? What are the explanations for that? And different religions provide different explanations, and they have to account for why there's suffering in the world. If religions can't account for that, they have a really, really hard time convincing people of other things as well. So religion has to be able to do that. So we're going to talk about a few of those things. We're going to look at the story of Job from the Bible, kind of give an overview of that and see, and really try to answer this question. It's like, why might bad things happen to good people? Or why do bad things happen to good people? And what are religious responses to that? So that's something we'll be looking at in session 2 of this last week. Then we move on to session 4. So after we do a little bit of talk about discussion about evil and suffering in the world, and some reflection. Next, we're going to find some uplifting things on how do you achieve salvation, and this is called soteriology. And this is essentially the religion's arguments of, okay, how do you get into heaven? How do you achieve nirvana? How do you go to Valhalla if you're a Viking? How do you achieve immortality? How do you get your own planet if you're a Mormon? Okay, so a lot of these things, so each religion provides a path of things you might have to believe, things you might have to do in order to achieve that particular goal. And so we're going to be looking at these different goals of salvation. They're not unique. And what the Buddhist has to do to achieve enlightenment is different than what a Christian might have to do. And actually, the Buddha has no interest in going to heaven, because if the Buddha finds himself in heaven, I think I said this earlier, he's doing something wrong, because he doesn't want to be there. He wants to achieve nirvana. So it's not his. We can talk about sort of like these different goals and different pathways up sort of like different mountaintops. So that's soteriology, and we'll be looking at that. And with soteriology, we're going to be looking at Hinduism. We're going to be looking at Islam. Again, we'll dive into Christianity and look at the Protestant Reformation and how that was a really significant shift in this notion of soteriology and how you achieve salvation, and the difference between Catholics and Protestants, at least at that time. And then also some more Buddhism with regard to that. So then, the last thing we're going to finish up. There's not going to be any reading for this last session, but I'll do a short presentation. But we're going to watch an episode of Boy Meets World, and we're going to look at who joins new religious movements. And so we're going to do a little bit of New Age stuff with the soteriology, but who joins new religious movements? What about this religious switching? What about cults, perhaps? And so who joins these new religious movements, and how can an episode of Boy Meets World introduce us to that concept? But with that, that's an overview for the week. Again, I will send out some proctoring information on Monday, and I will send out some information on the exam on Tuesday, and you'll have all of that at your disposal. And once again, thanks so much, and email me with any questions, and I'll be catching up. I'll be doing some grading and providing feedback. I jumped into that yesterday, did a little bit today as well. But if you have any questions this final week, just shoot me an email. I'm going to be around all week. With that, thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.